Welcome to another edition of the Dental Today podcast. Thank you for stopping by. This is brought to you by Lab Media TV. My name is Hezekiah Morales, and here we go. Remember to follow us on social media at Lab Media TV. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dental Today show. We have another special guest. This gentleman is from Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. He has been a dental technician for 29 years and has been teaching in universities for over 15 years, UNIVE and UAS, many universities. He's going to be speaking with us a little bit about his experiences as a dental technician in the Caribbean or the Latin American market, his experiences with technology and analog, and we are very excited to have him. His name, Mr. Elvin Santos. Elvin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Hezekiah, for the opportunities. Thank you to Lab Media TV. Thanks God first, because God allows you to be together in this opportunity, and I'm very excited to share with you all my experience as well.
We are excited to have you on the show, Elvin, and we had a great experience in Chicago, LMT Lab Day this past February, and why don't you give us a little bit about your experiences there?
Well, it was amazing. I have to give thanks to God and thanks to you, because it was a wonderful opportunity. It was our first time at this main event, Lab Day Chicago. We were doing two table clinics there with the help with the MPF and GC America. So we were very blessed. I have no words, you know. It was an amazing experience. Too many people. Oof. It was a highly crowded event. We also got lost once, you know, going to the event, because it was another event in another buildings, another area.
Mm-hmm.
There was maybe 5 more great events at the same time and the same dates in Chicago. But it was wonderful. I learned a lot. I met a lot of friends. I saw, you know, old friends too, and I was able, you know, to be sharing what I do day by day at the lab. And it was I was very. I'm still excited, because it's, you know, memories is forever. So
Absolutely.
we are sharing those memories, you know, in our hearts, and we are holding together. Maybe for me, it was an open door, an opportunity that will open another doors as well in the future.
Right. And also, you had the opportunity of taking part of another special event. Why don't you elaborate a little on that as well?
Well, another thing that happens in Chicago, that happened with us, was that Oliver Trick was doing his new space, opening his new lab in Chicago, well, in a new location. And so we were invited to his opening, and we were like, "Oh my God!" you know, we were very surprised about that, and we were very happy to have this type of opportunity with him and his wife. His new lab is amazing. It's an open, very big space, a lot of light, full of energy. People from around the world was there, you know, giving him the support. The from GC, another master dental technicians as well. We were part of it. We were part of it. So
That's awesome.
we're very, very happy to be there, and see, by the first hand, this is he is a master dental technician with a
Sure.
lot of experience. He is a high level dental technician with too much knowledge to share with us. Um, to be able to be by his side in this main event, it blows my mind. Blows my mind.
It was the highlight of your trip here to Chicago.
Yeah. It was like when you're eating an ice cream and you put a cherry on it. It was,
The cherry on top.
it's
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Elvin, uh, so you're not only a dental technician, but you've also taught in various universities, UNIBE, which you actually studied in UNIBE, and then shortly after you began to teach there, you've taught in other universities as well. Can you give us your experiences there and your journey through going into the dental laboratory, dental technician industry, and then moving up into a teaching position, and now what you're doing now, you're traveling over the world, you're teaching other people now. You've taken the knowledge that other mentors have given you, and now you are beginning to share it. Can you share a little bit of, on your journey?
well. I want to make it shortly. Is sometimes you start something, but you don't know where it's gonna head you in the future. You don't know the potential that you have when you are doing. As I said many times, I'm just a simple dental technician, but God has a purpose, and God has some other plans for me as well. So I start my journey in the UNIBE University, Universidad Iberamericana. So took uh, I took the career of dental technician when nobody was studying dental technician at the moment. It was curious because in this time everybody was studying, for engineer or for lawyer or architect or whatever, or doctor for medicine, or I also want to be a dentist first.
Mm,
But I start doing dental technology, and I fall in love with
wow.
the career. Because when you can be able to create something with some raw materials and transform it to a dental device, a sophisticated dental device, is just a blessing. Uh, in nowadays, it's the same, but we are using technology, to help us out, to be more productive. But in somehow, I was impressed. I was impressed because I never knew that I had the gift. But as I was working with, getting involved with it, getting passionate, and looking for some examples in books and magazine in that time that were able, to increase my knowledge with the time. And also, when I finished school in the 90s, the early 90s, and I was able, to go to another office, learn, finish, to improve myself in orthodontics. That
Mm,
was the first time I was doing orthodontics license, and then I opened my lab in '93.
wow.
So when I opened my lab in '93, I was doing just orthodontic. But later on, when I took my first course out of uh, the island in the United States. It was a course that was given by Ceramco in New Jersey. So when I took the first course in metal ceramic, it was like a wow, this is what I want to do. But how can I get there? How can I, you know, be, you know, a dental technician with high quality? And I was focused from '96. I was my main goal was to be focused in high end dentistry. So so this the journey begins. I start, you know, giving classes of anatomical classes and orthodontic classes in UNIVE, Universidad Odontológica Dominicana, and also Universidad Autónoma de Santo Domingo, was. So we were developing, you know, some courses. Also, we were a professor, an invited professor last year for a class in that lasts just one semester in UNIVE about communication with the dental technicians and clinicians. And everything was possible because we I have been traveling, you know, the last maybe 20 something years, 23 years, to United States to get involved in to get several courses through the years, mm, and get prepared every time to give, you know, not to be better by myself, uh, but also to be better for the patients, the final user of our prosthetics that we do with our hands. Uh, Putting knowledge and materials together to create, you know, a high aesthetic uh, outcome for the patients, and be able to deliver of this kind of outcome consistently every time, to be consistent, to be aware that we have a limited life, but in the meantime, we have to make it right, to make it better, to be able to improve ourselves. So that's what my main goal in the field. And now we are doing for a long time. We are doing high end dentistry. We are trying our best in every case. We are trying, you know, to give to the doctor and the patient the best we can in every opportunity. We try very hard to plan a case uh, from the beginning to the end, uh, because we want to give a patient a smile with confidence, give the patients the best of the best. Um, and we also use some technology, you know, to get that, because technology is here to, you know, to stay.
Absolutely.
It's not something that we can uh, we can. It's not for me or it's not for you. Technology is everywhere. Also,
Right.
now we are using technology to communicate. So
Absolutely.
technology came here to stay and change the way we see communication, we see dentistry, and we see everything. But in our case, I personally believe that all the dental technicians uh, in Latin America and in the Caribbean, when the cost of buying new technology is too high, we need, you know, to be prepared in analog position, to be prepared to be the one that we can do good dentistry and high quality dentistry with machine and without machines.
Right. And that's what actually my next point was going to be, what your outlook is, at the very least, for the Latin American market, for the Latin American technicians, or for companies that are going to go out and teach American companies that are going to go out and teach Latin America. How important is the analog education, and is it still relevant?
Well, I lost a little bit of connections, but
I'll repeat that. Yeah, I know we're on a Skype connection, and sometimes the connection can be weak. But my question is, for companies that are going to Latin America, right? What would your outlook on the analog, let's say the analog playing field is? Do you believe analog is still relevant, and if so, how so?
well, the analog process is still I think is the core of this kind of profession. Uh, we never. I think since the beginning, the dentistry is digital. What I think is the main thing that we need to make analog, to make be good doing analog, is that we can think and we can plan with our mind and our hands, and then use machines, to give it a hand and to, for example, a machine, you can connect a machine and put it, overnight to work. So you can rest in your home, you know, just because you can push a button. But but you have to be aware of that. If you don't know what is the final outcome, if you don't know the way to plan analogically the for for any kind of prosthetics, if you don't know how to choose a material, if you don't know how the material will react with everything in the mouth, with the cementation, with the tissue, with all the environment that you will submit the material, you need some level of knowledge, to get some results, good and decent result for the patients. It's not about machines anymore. It's not about how fast they can mill a tooth. It's not about how fast you can scan the mouth.
Mm.
It's not about get the model done or printed or whatever. It's about how you know what is the final outcome at the end. If you are prepared to give the patient or the dentist good results at the end, it's not about, people people are scared about technology. Some people are. I'm not a friend of technology because I know what I want to give to the patient at the end. I know how to drive the patients. I have to communicate with the dentist the the form that we can be, you know, predictable
Mhm,
every time, with consistency.
mhm.
Uh, that's why I'm not a friend of technology. But yeah, for example, it was something that I told you before. Is a guy here that was working with a university, and the he has he has some he can be able to, to use some machines to do some work with for him. But when he resigned to the job and he opened his own lab, uh, the 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 help that he was using the machines to get to some point of view, it was his level has dropped drastically because he doesn't know how to do, anatomical wax, for example, by hand. So he wasn't lost. He was lost when he tried to open his lab. And he's doing an okay job, but he was doing a better job with the machine. It's not possible that way. I think is you have to do a good job with machine or without machines.
Right.
The level have to be in your hands and in your mind. It's not about machines anymore. If you, for example, if machines can broke, for example, what can you do if your machine will break? You will close your business. What can what will happen in the future if you have if you didn't receive the update of some software? Close, you will close it up because you didn't receive the update on time. There's too many things. You wouldn't be able to buy food, to put food on the table because you don't have the updated, or because you don't pay on time for you know for the next year,
Updates.
or
Yeah, yeah. The subscription.
whatever. Uh, you have to be. You have to respond at the end. It,
Hmm.
it's not about. I think we are dependent too much in some countries. They are dependent too much on technology
Mm,
and less in knowledge. And as we said, as I said to you before, knowledge is power. So
absolutely.
if you have the knowledge, you can be free also. You can be free of technology because you can be able to do it analogically. If something happens with the machine, it's broken, or you didn't receive the burns on time, or you didn't receive the material to mill because something happens, this work, something can happen. Maybe a storm, storm can, delay your package to your lab. So
Hmm.
you won't be able to do your work because your your production depends
Depends. Hmm.
depends of the machine, only for the machine. If you don't have the scanner working, or you don't have the milling working, you cannot be able to do your job. It's something that you have to ask him.
And it's interesting that you have this outlook, and you're telling me that you're not afraid of technology, because definitely it's here to stay. Yet you believe that it is very important and it's very relevant for the dental technician to be versatile in
It's
their knowledges
yeah,
and in their practices
it's
of the analog side of the business. And I was at your lab. You have scanners, you have modern furnaces, you have all these modern equipment, all this modern equipment in your lab. Yet again, you also are a big advocate for the deep understanding of the analog processes and how to marry the per se old school with technology, or the
yeah.
digital
You have,
technology.
you have to match. You have to. It's not a transition. It's not like that. It's not like a old school will disappear.
Right.
It's not about that. You have to match all the way. You have to match all the way. Or you will say to a doctor that if you have been practicing, for example, for 25 years, that he wants to make veneers, and you have to tell him, oh no, you're obsolete because you have 25 years working. You cannot buy the motor. You cannot get the courses, to do veneers because you're already obsolete. So we are we are we have to be careful about the message. We have to be careful what we are talking to the next generation. We are telling the next generation that you cannot doing good dentistry.
Mm.
Instead, if you don't have a machine,
Wow.
if you don't have a software, you cannot be able to do good dentistry.
Mm.
You know,
Very
if
interesting.
if this is, you have to be aware of that. You have to be careful because out there, there are people doing the wrong message. For example, one day I heard one company that says you can buy this machine and you can get rid of the dental technician.
Yeah.
It's not like this, my friend. No,
No.
dental technician will not disappear. Will not.
Will continue to evolve, but will
Yeah,
not
yeah.
disappear.
We need technology. We need technology to make things, faster and to make things overnight because machines are for that. You know, you know, machine asks for to be connected at the night, and then you can meal on the night, or you can put all the meal crowns and bridge that you have, and put it in the central oven overnight too.
Right.
But don't forget about you need a good hands behind technology.
Let me ask you this,
Support. You need this support behind it.
and I'm really glad that you brought that up. So let me ask you this: in your journey from going the place that you were a student in Unive, you decided to take the dental technician's route rather than becoming a dentist. Then you began to travel to the United States, courses and all this. But in the last X amount of years, your learning curve, or let's say your your development or evolution as a dental technician, that has taken off, because obviously, what has played a role in this explosion in your evolution?
We are using right now technology, my friend, the communication, Facebook, Instagram, those channels that can be and that you can be exposed to, that you can post your picture of your work. There is too many people willing, to destroy you, but there are too many people willing you to help you as well. You know, uh, Facebook was for me it was unbelievable. The first time I get exposed to Facebook, it was like oh my God, this is another world, and you can give a click and you are in contact with someone with the high level that you want to achieve, in another part of the world.
Right.
It's just unbelievable. It's just like that. It just blows to my mind. It's every time I get in Facebook, those kind of channels can be addictive as well.
Right, of course.
It can
Distracting.
it can be a distraction. It can drains you out too.
Right.
But it can help you, to lift. You know, there is too many guys out there. Bill Marais, Von Grove from Dental Technicians Guild, John McMillan, just to name a few,
Absolutely.
just to name a few, Joshua Pulaski. I made most of those guys. I met those guys from Facebook, and I just you have a doubt. Some of them I can call them, by Skype or whatever, and make I have a trouble with a case, and I receive this kind of information
Mm.
with kindness, with wow, with care. This type of people, they are good. They are big because they want to share their knowledge with people around the world. They want to be a dentistry good in every part of the planet. It's not about just be the start, just be the best. It's about the sharing. Uh, and the other thing that you see in the last maybe 10 years, all the companies are trying to do continuing education, tied with their brand. They want to be known like they are giving a good product, but also they are given the way to use the best way to use their products.
Right.
So it's all over the world. It's all over the world. You can see a Strongman. You can see company like implants of Strongman. You can see a company like Pantera that have a center for education. You can see Vita. You can see Ivoclar. Every company around the world, MPF, every company. You can name it and you have it. All the companies have those key opinion leaders that you can call them. You can call them. They can give you an info. You can text them because we have this technology, this open door, this window available 24/7.
So in other words, what you're saying is, listen, get out of your comfort zone. Just
out
go
of
out and speak to somebody. Reach out to them. Hey, Elvin, listen, I'm having an issue with this case. I need a little bit of guidance on this.
Yes, you have to get exposed because this is the only way you can improve yourself. I personally believe that if I wasn't able, to expose myself, to the social media, I wasn't here right now.
Wow, absolutely, without a doubt.
I won't be able to be speaking with you right now.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I'm positive sure about that. Because and the influence of Facebook, Instagram, all the social media, together, you can be positive about the transformation of the humanity in the last 10 years.
Absolutely.
Has been amazing. Also, you can see everything from Dominican Republic to Russia in minutes.
That's right.
In minutes.
With a couple of clicks on your phone.
Just using your phone. It's not a big deal anymore. It's just about you have to be exposed to technology. You have the only thing that I tell to my colleagues here in Dominican Republic. I tell them, you have to take a picture of your work, my friend, and expose.
Absolutely.
My work is not as good. They will criticize me. I don't care if they criticize me. I don't care. For one person or for 10 person, third person that will criticize you, it will happen that maybe 1, 2, or 3 person will open his knowledge to help you to grow.
And isn't that what it's all about?
Each other way. For example, it happens for me 3 years ago, 5 years ago. I posted a metal ceramic structure over England. It was a screw retained implant, and I exposed some pictures. And a guy was too many people. Why did you sandblast all the structure? You make it wrong. Well, was too many people, criticizing me. But it was 3 guys that sent me pictures as well. Send me some lit as well, literally our some material to read about how to do it properly and pictures. And also one of them give me a long text, why I shouldn't do it that way. And for example, my metal structure or implant goes from 3 to 10 just for expose my picture.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
For expose my picture goes from 3 to 10. For example, one day I post a picture of one metal structure, and who make a comment about to get in to do the structure in the proper way.
Ooh.
Skip Camperton. Another sign.
Wow.
A ski carpenter texts me, you have to be careful. Don't do it like this, and send me some picture, some example to do it.
Wow.
Wait, so you know, it's the time for excuses is over. The time for excuses is over.
Absolutely.
It's over. You have to expose yourself and then do it over and over and over and over again.
Wow. That's
Practice
awesome.
again. It's not about talent. It's about how many times you practice.
Wow.
For example, if you can, I will leave you this small example. For example, everybody in the United States loves sports and love baseball. For example, Boston. I love Boston because there was two Dominicans in Boston.
Yeah, Pedro Martinez and
Yes, I'm the big papi, David
Big
Ortiz.
Papi. Yeah, Ortiz.
And also it was another Dominican guy too, but he was his name is Ramirez.
Mm.
So he was those three guys give the title to Boston because they were losing for too many years.
Right.
So when they won the first time, it was those three Dominicanos: Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, and Pedro Martinez.
Mm.
So, and I was, I'm not a big fan of baseball, but I was analyzing why they call the Big Papi is a monster in the bat. Why? And I saw the average of this is he goes to the bat and he bats like a 300. Well, I was asking a guy, what means 300? What this number means to me, 300 something. It means that every 10 times he goes to the plate with the bat, he hit 3 times. But to be to hit three times as good, he had to practice every day. He had to go and practice with the team every day. It's not about how much money he win, it's about how many hours he spent practicing.
Mm.
So what makes a baseball player a star or can make a dental technician or a clinician a star is how many hours of practice he's spending with. For example,
Craft.
I think I'm positive with that, without a doubt. I'm very positive about that. I can tell you, if a dentist is supposed to do waxing by hand, anatomical waxing every day, a dentist will be better dentist because he is practicing his craft every day. Is for example, for me, I wax every day, every single day. I spend maybe 20 minutes of my day doing one wax just for practice.
Wow.
Not for present, not for my money, not for charge for a diagnostic workshop or something like that. Just for practice. I practice every day 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Is that the time that requires to be better every time?
Mm.
You know why? One guy told me, if you don't practice every day, how can you be able to improve yourself?
Mm.
How?
Mm-hmm.
No way. So since this time, it was Dr. Salcia Cairo. He told me you have to practice every day. What makes you good is everyday practice. It's not about one day practice. It's not about one day doing something. If you want to be great doing something, uh, You can be passionate, but if you don't practice, passion doesn't work by itself.
By itself. Mm-mm. Well, and also now that you talk about the practice and everything, you've been working on a project which back in September when I was there, and we had the blessing of bringing John Wesley McMillan over to the island. We inaugurated the Soldesa Training Center. What are the plans for this training center of yours that's actually linked with your laboratory? What are the plans? How can people get involved?
Well, we are doing. We have a small space, to give training to clinicians and dental technicians. We are looking forward, to increase the quality of our dentistry that we produce here in the island. We want to be known as a center that trains that give training in an affordable price to share knowledge with all our fellowships, with all our peers, because we want the Dominican dentistry to be one of the best of the area. And there is too many people involved right now in continuing education, and we want to be one of them. We want to be a part of the movement because we are thirsty here. We are thirsty of knowledge. We need, spaces to be able to prepare the next generation. We need, to be part of the people that are, showing the way to the next generation to do good dentistry. We are very excited to be part of it. It's a small display. It's a small space, but it's not about Soldes anymore. It's not about those four walls. It's about to expand the knowledge through the island and beyond. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe now we are spreading the knowledge by Skype to another area, to United States. We can be able, to, with the help of God, to be able to get involved in this movement because it's if you are doing good dentistry for good practice for the people, we will do a more responsible way,
Mm-hmm.
to to change the life of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I was talking with Joshua Pulaski once, and he told me it's not about teeth anymore. It's about changing life.
Absolutely.
Every time, we think it's about teeth, but it's not. It's not about teeth anymore. We think it's just teeth, but in my humble opinion, when you see a very good job, installed in the mouth properly, you can see the wellness, you can see the happiness in the face of the patient. You can see you can be witnesses of all this kind of good that you're doing for another human being. So I'm very happy to be part of it. I'm very
So glad to hear it.
I'm very positive about that. I'm very humble about to receive this kind of opportunity because we are not just making teeth. We are changing life, my friend.
Absolutely.
We are changing life one teeth at a time. One teeth at a time. It's not about just teeth. It's not about material. It's not about technology. It's about how we can be able to perform the best outcome to our patient.
Absolutely.
How can we can be better every time, and every time we have the opportunity to sit at the bench with a couple of models, with pictures and everything, with all the tools that we have now available, to do a good job. With all this, electronics that communicate us, through the oceans, we can cross oceans, we can travel around the world through technology.
Absolutely.
We are using technology to open just all the doors of the world. So this is the best era. This is the best era. I think it's not about just material and technology. It's about that we can communicate to others. We can share knowledge. When you're posting a picture of your work, you are giving information to others to be better. You are showing others that it can be done better. Sometimes you don't have the whole system, in your hands, the whole system of ceramic or the kit of bottles of ceramic. But when you know that another human being have done better job than yours with the same materials, it can tell you that you can do better.
Absolutely.
It's not as excuse to be in the same point all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Is also challenging you to evolve. That's what I'm. That's
amazing.
The way I think.
Absolutely. So the people that are here listening on Dental Today, how can they follow you on Instagram, Facebook? Where can they follow you? What's your tag?
Well, they can follow me in Elvin Santos 01 in Instagram, and they can follow me on Elvin Santos DTG by Facebook.
Oh, wonderful.
Facebook and Instagram are the best. Are the best to
the best tools.
The best tools to communicate, and they are 24/7, my friend.
Absolutely, and for free.
They don't sleep. They don't sleep. When we are sleeping here in DR, somebody is awake in Russia, looking your Instagram, or looking your Facebook. You have to be aware of your content. One final suggestion that I can give you to everybody is put good content. Put the content that you want to know. Don't waste your time, using this kind of technology, to waste your time. For example, I just see teeth and post teeth most of the time. Maybe one time I put a family photo, but it's not to tell my private story. It's just to expose what we need to get improved. And
absolutely.
I need to be improved in making teeth. Want to make it better.
Absolutely.
Also, I also use it to market in my lab as well.
For sure. Sure.
Because it tells what I can do for your patient. This is the picture. This is what can I do for your patient. Do you like it? Call me.
Absolutely. Marketing. Always be selling. Elvin Santos, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a privilege having you here. Elvin, we love you, your family. I hope to have you on the show soon, and I hope to make our again and be part of everything out there. Be part of the family.
Yes, thank you.
Everyone on Dental Today, we will be seeing you soon.